This week in Women in Sports, the Minnesota Lynx suffer their first loss of the season, what it means for their chances to make it to the finals of the WNBA Commissioner's Cup. Then, two college freshman gymnasts that are on fire, how these Minnesota athletes are making a name for themselves. And then an elite speed skater with sight sets on the Olympics. A look at Greta Meyer's story.
WCCO's Women in Sports, sponsored by Franson Bank and Trust.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Marielle Mohs, and here at WCCO, we are celebrating the highlights of female athletes in this new digital segment called Women in Sports. We'll share news stories with you every week right here as we do our part to give these athletes the recognition they deserve. First up, the Lynx season opening winning streak is over. They fell to the Seattle Storm Wednesday night, 94-84. This means the Lynx are now 9-1. But when it comes to the WNBA Commissioner's Cup standings, the outcome has important ramifications. Seattle is now tied with Minnesota atop the West standings at 3-1. So if the Storm can win their remaining games, they'll represent the conference in the July 1st final. And Paige Bueckers has returned from injury. The Minnesota native and Dallas Wings guard missed 4 games due to concussion protocol and illness. She made her first 6 shots of the game and finished 13 of 19 from the field. Bueckers also became the 3rd rookie in Dallas history to record a 35-point game. But it wasn't good enough to help the Wings. They ended up losing that game against the Phoenix Mercury 93-80. And Caitlin Clark's basketball line is expanding. Wilson Sporting Goods announced a team of women's product designers who collaborated with Clark on 4 new balls. The designs are called Embrace, Aspire, Oasis, and Envision. Clark says she hopes this new collection will help inspire young girls and boys to get out and play. Well, 2 Minnesota gymnasts are now national champions. As freshmen at the University of Oklahoma, they have helped lead the Sooners to their 7th NCAA title. I caught up with the champs while they're back home for the summer.
I knew it could be achievable, but I didn't know freshman year right out of the gate.
A rookie year to remember for Lily Peterson and Elle Miller.
2 friends just being able to go to the same college and accomplish both of our dreams and goals, like it's amazing.
Lily grew up competing for flips gymnastics in White Bear Lake and Elle at Twin City Twisters in Champlin. The two often competing against each other as kids.
So literally we've known each other from like when we were like so young to now we're teammates at OU. So it's so cool that both of us from Minnesota are at the #1 college.
Now, these 2 Northerners are creating names for themselves in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, we're really proud. I mean, we get made fun of our accent sometimes, but you know, it's fine. It's totally fine.
It was a rare experience for 2 freshmen to contribute in big ways at nationals. Elle competed on the floor, earning a 9.90, and again on the vault, earning a 9.98.
I wasn't competing for myself anymore. I was competing for other people and for my team because we all wanted to win that national championship.
Lily competed on the beam, vault, and bars at nationals. She rebounded from a fall on the beam in semifinals in a huge way, earning a 9.975 after nailing her dismount.
In day 2, I competed the best beam routine I've ever done in my life, had the best score I've ever had. Like, it was such an amazing feeling, and knowing that everyone believed in me and was confident in me, like the celebration after, it was no other. Like, I was feeling all the emotions, and it's a moment I'll never forget. Yeah!
No matter how big the wins are now and in the future, these gymnasts are always thankful for where the love of this sport started.
Come on. It keeps me humble and, you know, reminds me of how far I've come. Oh, wow.
And the Sooners had a nearly undefeated season and won the SEC for the first time in that conference. So the bar is set very high for the soon-to-be sophomores who hope to continue to add titles to this legacy program. Well, it's the start of the summer around here, and that also means the 2026 Winter Olympics are fast approaching. And as Ren Clayton explains, Minnesota has a speed skater about to embark on the most crucial season of her career.
Gliding on ice at high speeds. This is life for Greta Meyers.
I would say speed skating's honestly more of an art. It's all about, learning to skate in a way that's as efficient as possible and maintain top speed.
Like many Minnesotans, Meyer's first ice skates were hockey skates. She played for Centennial and Roseville growing up. It was at the Oval that her path changed forever.
And actually, I was at practice one day, and the coach for the high performance speed skating team at the time came up to me afterwards, and he's a Russian guy, so they have a little bit different of a mentality, and he's like, "Come speed skate, your country needs you." And I was like, I don't know, maybe 12 at the time, and I was like, okay.
She was always the fastest, and the transition was smooth, making rapid progress competing and winning internationally. Now she lives and trains in Salt Lake City.
It's a full-time job for me, but it's also an incredible opportunity to travel the world and compete against the best skaters there are.
When you were 6 years old, you probably didn't plan on speed skating in the Olympics. When did that become something that you started to dream about?
I've always wanted to be Olympian ever since I was probably about yay high.
The Winter Olympics is less than a year away. Myers hopes to make her first team. Recently energized by a milestone mass start win.
Just gave me a great boost of confidence that, this could be something that I could pull off at the games when it truly matters. So hopefully I'll get the opportunity, and if I do, I'll definitely take it because I know that I can do well.
Ren Clayton, WCCO Sports.
Good luck to Greta. Well, for the first time in 10 years, the French Open Women's Singles Trophy is back in American hands. Tennis star Coco Gauff claimed the title last weekend after defeating the top-ranked Aryna Sabalenka in 3 sets. The 21-year-old is also the youngest American to lift the Suzanne Legland Cup since Serena Williams did so back in 2002. Gauff previously won the 2023 U.S. Open final, and she appeared on CBS this week, saying that this victory was also a victory over self-doubt.
I realized that I just try to redirect those into positive thoughts, even if you don't truly believe them. But eventually, when those moments are tough and you don't know your back is against the wall, you don't know where to lean on, you try to lean on the positivity and the belief. And I think that's what carried me through that match and honestly throughout the whole tournament.
We wanted to take a moment to look at the most winningest American-born tennis players on the women's side. And the player with the most titles is, you've probably guessed it, Serena Williams. In fact, she leads both men and women in Grand Slam single titles when it comes to Americans with 23. She won her first at the U.S. Open in 1999. She's followed by Chris Evert with 18 singles titles. Evert won at least one Grand Slam singles title for 13 years in a row. And at third, you know the name well, Billie Jean King, who won single titles in the Open era. In 1987, she was elected to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Well, looking ahead to Wimbledon, an all-England lawn tennis club says the prize money for this year's championship has increased to more than $72 million. That's a 7% increase on 2024 and double what they offered a decade ago. The singles champions will receive about $4 million each. That's just over 11% more than last year. Wimbledon begins June 30th. And staying on the topic of tennis, professional players will now have their ranking protected if they take time off from the competition for a fertility procedure, such as egg or embryo freezing. The announcement was made this week from the WTA. Under the new protected ranking rule, players can use the special ranking to enter up to 3 tournaments. This follows the introduction of a different rule in March, which paid maternity leave and grants for fertility protection measurements in women's tennis. In international swimming, teenage sensation Summer McIntosh continues to amaze. On Tuesday, she was just within a second from breaking the 200-meter butterfly record. And get this, by that time, she had already set world records in the 400-meter freestyle and 200-meter individual medley, all while at the Canadian swimming trials. Well, back here in Minnesota, let me introduce you to a high school student athlete to watch. She's been to 8 state tournaments among 3 different sports, proving the importance and benefits of cross-training.
The second I stepped on the track, I wanted to keep coming every day.
Running distance is the best fit for Maple Grove senior Abby Oakland. Not only does it feed her competitive spirit, but it also feeds into her training for the other sports she plays, like soccer.
In the fall, I was always super fit and ready from track, and I just think that helped a lot.
Then in the winter, she switches gears again to to hockey.
And it just makes me like very excited for each season, and I just don't feel any burnout.
Abby is a 3-sport athlete, something rare these days, and has gone to the state tournament in each of her sports.
It helps me be very versatile. Like, I feel like I see like the sports from a wider angle.
Executing your workout is what we need right now.
Her distance coach, Hannah Hempy, sees big benefits from that versatility in her athletes.
Running, it can be the same thing over and over and over. How you approach a race might have kind of the same strategies. So she hears so many different strategies, both in soccer and hockey, about how to approach competition.
The Crimson Girls relay runners now have their sights set on a first for the school, breaking into the state top 3 finishers.
We'll be right in there with them, and I know all of the girls in my relay will battle till the end.
In Maple Grove.
I know they would love to leave Abby on that note too with that top 3 finish.
Marielle Mohs, WCCO Sports. Well, good luck to all the state track and field athletes this week. Thanks for watching this week's Women in Sports. We'll be back with more great stories next week. I'm Marielle Mohs.